It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Woo! Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of my new pregame tailgate that will be live each and every Bengals game day live at the Moreland Lager House. Trust me, there are more information that I'm dying to tell you that's coming out here very, very soon. But just realize this. It's going to be an awesome time. It is going to cost you something to get in there, but it is completely worth it. There are going to be former Bengal players there. You're going to have access to delicious Moreland food, access to delicious Moreland beer, access to their bourbon room, and just access to an absolutely blast, great of a fun time. Plus, I'll be doing a live show there every Tuesday. So you guys are definitely going to want to join that. There's some more stuff to that too, which I cannot announce yet, but I'm dying to. But anyway, between now and then, go check out more at the Lager House. Speaking of food, have you guys been to Midwest Best Barbecue yet? And if you haven't, I have this question I ask every single day. Why the hell not? Midwest Best is a very delicious, awesome run family restaurant right there on the east side, right off 275 Wards Corner Avenue exit. Get you some CTB wings. Get you the new Dillinator wings. I'm telling you, they're good. I was talking to Robert, my boy out in California, how he wants to come in. He's coming in for the Ring of Honor game, and he's going to go to Midwest Best because he wants some Dillinator wings. They're absolutely delicious. Tell Tim and Nicole I sent you. Also, if you're listening or looking for some new windows and doors, please check out Meyer Window and Door at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Maddie Meyer will show up in the legendary Jackpot Joey Mobile. You guys can talk windows. You can talk doors. You can talk Bengals. Like I said, I got them in my house. You should get them in yours. Again, that's Meyer Window and Doors. Also, West Side Peeps, go check out Hail Mary. It's your ticket to the game. This little gem right in the middle of Cheviot. It is awesome. They have free parking, which is right across the street. That's I always say that because that's a key thing, especially Cheviot. There's not a lot of parking there. Free parking right across the street. Big-ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome time. Again, that's Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. What is up to everybody in the chat? Who we got in there first? We got Stranger in there first. Paul Painter's in there. Michael Manson, Dalton's in there, Keith's in there, Brad's in there, and wow, Bengals captain is actually making a comment, and he's not on the show. I wonder why. Is there like some special person that is on the show today that he really likes a lot? That's interesting. Let's see. I don't know. There's just some pretty awesome girl. Yeah, she's a Bengals Superfan. You might have heard of her. Her name's Hube. Hube, what's going on?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine. She just got off the golf course, so that's why she's coming from her car. So
I did. I'm so sorry. Everyone, please forgive me, but we spent a lot of time in the sand today. I'm actually going to tweet out a photo. I took a photo of my stepdad in the sand because it was so funny because he was literally just like raking our sand all day long.
Hey.
And traffic is a nightmare, so I couldn't make it home. So I apologize, but thanks for having me.
You're good. I'm glad you're on. I would never make fun of anybody playing golf who struggles because I struggle. I struggle at mini golf. My son beats me all the time, so it's annoying, and I haven't played for a while. And I know you agree with this. Bengals captain for fan of the year. We need to make this happen.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's time. Overdue.
Long overdue. So, Jess, tell me something about yourself. How long have you been a Bengals fan? How did you become a super fan? How did you get hooked up with this crazy guy here, the one that the big bearded dude, that guy? How'd you guys get together and all that cool stuff?
Well, it's funny. It's funny. You mentioned Cheviot. I actually lived in Cheviot when I was a really small child, so
Oh
it's
yeah.
fun.
So
I never
I
thought
knew we'd
about.
get along. You're an old West Side girl.
I
I
am
knew
a
that.
West Sider. I went
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Fairfield, yeah. So
There you go.
I am a true West Sider. My grandma still lives in Forest Park. She's lived in the same house for 60 years. So,
There you go.
uh, yeah. So yeah, I was born and raised in Cincinnati. I was born and raised as a Bengals and Reds fan. I grew up very poor with two other sisters, so we never even could even think about going to an NFL game as a child. But we went to Reds games every year. We got to go to one Reds game. It was a big deal in my family. Was the day we got to go to a Reds game, and those were some of my favorite memories as a child. We got to. I remember running the bases on Kids Day or whatever it was. But
Yep.
yeah, and that was back in the Marge Shot days. So
Hey, the good old
Shotzi,
days. Yeah, the
the
good old days
dog.
when we won. Yeah, I remember
before we
that.
knew before we knew about Marge.
Yeah, before we knew about that, before we were, we all we
but
were concerned about was winning then.
yeah, that was fresh off some good years. But so I was born and raised in Cincinnati. I moved to Columbus when I was in high school, and I met Cap, my then boyfriend, now husband. I met him through a mutual friend, and on our first date, he said, "Do you follow any sports teams?" I said, "Well, I'm originally from Cincinnati, so I always root for the Bengals and the Reds." This was before the FC Cincy, or as I like
Right,
to call them,
right.
the Stabby Lions. Before the Stabby Lions came on the scene, and so he was like, "Oh, you're a Bengals fan?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Who Dey?" And I was like, "Who Dey?" We gave a high five, and this was July. So I literally had no idea what I was getting myself into because then come football season, I was like, oh, he's like a for real Bengals fan. Like I always just like called myself a Bengals fan, and I would always, that was in the early 2000s. We met in 2010. So, I called myself a Bengals fan, and I was a waitress at Hooters. I would always, when we would wear our team jerseys, I would always wear Bengals stuff. Everybody else was wearing Browns and Steelers and Columbus.
Yeah.
But there was another girl that I worked with. She was originally from Dayton, and she would always wear her Bengals stuff. I would always wear my Bengals stuff, and it was some rough times. But I never gave up on my Bengals. But I didn't go to my first Bengals game until I met Cap, until we were dating. So we went to our first Bengals game in 2010. It was in October of that year that we met, and then in 2011 he was like, "Hey, do you want to get season tickets?" And I was like, "Okay."
Yes, I do.
So I went to one Bengals game, and then I got season tickets, and I've had season tickets since 2011.
That's awesome. I love how you said you met Cap and you talk about being a Bengals fan, but you didn't realize what you're getting into. It's like, oh,
Nope.
he's a real Bengals fan.
He
Like,
was
oh,
for real.
yeah.
Not just like you claim the Bengals and
Right.
you love to see him do well. No, he's like glued to the TV every Sunday. We're going to games, and then next thing I know, a year goes by and we're literally at every single game and going. I had never been to training camp before we met, so it was all new, all brand new.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It sound like me and my wife, Mrs. Ice. She's like, yeah, I knew you were a Bengals fan, but damn, you're like,
Right.
you're like, it's always about the Bengals because we have our conversation sometimes. She goes, you could wear something other than the Bengals sometimes if you want to. I was like, I have stuff, I just choose not to wear it. So but sometimes I do just to make my wife happy. But it's funny like that. So
That's
how I
important.
titled this show is this the destiny year for the Cincinnati Bengals? I think it is. Me and Cap have been talking about it on yesterday's show, and I know Pork Chop. I gotta give him credit. He said it last year. He's like next year. He's like, Jeff, I'm telling you, next year it's our destiny year. It's in New Orleans. He said, what can be perfect? I'm like, I can't argue with that.
I agree. I mean, come on now. If there's a script, which, I go back and forth. We joke a lot about conspiracies on Tigers Talk. We joke a lot about that. But I do think there is some truth to it. And if there's a script, you couldn't script it any better
Right.
than Joe and Jamar returning to New Orleans. You couldn't
Exactly.
script it any better than that. They've
Exactly.
never lost there.
No, never have. So that's where I'm just like, and the thing is, like, everything that's going on this year and to me, it has a lot to do with the way the schedule is lined up because it is going to be an easier schedule. We've had just a gauntlet the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But also, I think with Zach finally letting the starters, we'll find out how much they play this Saturday. But finally, some of the starters are going to play. Joe, knocking on wood, is healthy right now. Yeah, exactly. Knock on everything you got.
Knock on everything.
He's never had a completely healthy or normal training camp. So far, we're 3 weeks into it, or 2.5 weeks into it, that, he's stayed healthy. If that happens, I'm sitting there, like, New England game, and I'm not trying to look past New England. That should be a win. Then you go to Kansas City. That's going to be a tough one. But then after that, it gets kind of easy. I mean, you get the Kansas City win. I mean, we can start out 3-0, 6-0. Who knows?
I mean, there's so much that goes into it. The schedule, I think, works into the script. The fact that the MLB, the way that they're starting their season, the way the Reds are having opening day, all of that works in favor of the Bengals going to and winning the Super Bowl. So I really feel like all the stars are aligning. Everything's going to line up just perfectly. It was devastating seeing Cam go out for the year yesterday, but yeah. I really am hoping and praying that we don't have any more injuries, any more really bad injuries. But, if we can stay healthy, health is wealth. Health is everything in this league. So anything can happen. I mean, week to week, anything can happen. We saw how quickly things can change in the blink of an eye with Joe Burrow. So it all remains to be seen, but everything is really looking to be going in our favor so far. So, and that's all you can really ask for.
Exactly. And I keep saying this, Jess, like last year, we almost made the playoffs. We still finished above 500 without Joe Burrow.
Incredible.
I mean, that's how good this team is. That's how good this coaching staff is. That's how, I mean, they were still, and I'm not trying to pour salt on a wound for Tyler Boyd, but if Tyler Boyd catches that end zone touchdown against Houston, we're in the playoffs. We missed it by one game. We're in.
Yeah.
So that's literally how close it came with Joe Burrow being out for half the season. Well, I mean, he was really healthy for 4 games, and those are 4 awesome games except for the Houston game. That one, I don't know what was going on with that one. But that to me is like, that's something to build upon going into this year. How good that team played without Joe Burrow. And without, I mean, T was in and out of the lineup a lot. Our defense wasn't very good last year. We lost Bell and Bates. Thank God we got Bell back right now. We got Geno Stone. It sounds like, just, I don't know if you noticed, we're at training camp. Did you see Ludini just walk around like a little pep in his step and a little smile? He seems a little more happy this year with his defense, I think.
He does. And, I was listening to, you'll have to forgive me, but while I was simultaneously watching your show last night with Cap and Corian, I was listening to Dave Lapham and Dan Horde had a Sirius XM special that was 2 hours long. It was really, really good.
I didn't get to hear it all. I heard a little bit of it. I would love to find a podcast.
It was incredible. Anybody who has access to that, I encourage you to listen to the whole thing. It's really good. The whole thing is great. But they had Lou on there. They had Lou Anarumo on there. And he just seems really jazzed up about this defense. He seems really jazzed up about our secondary, about the communication, about how, everything's going. And I know there's been some grumblings, from seeing what's going on in training camp, but I think that we're just seeing Joe Burrow kick it into another gear right now in training camp. We've never seen this Joe Burrow in training camp before. So I think people need to give our secondary a little bit of grace and realize that we have, I think, the best receiving core in the NFL. We've got Joe Burrow, who I think is the number 1 quarterback in the NFL, maybe second only to Patrick Mahomes, but even still, I think they're 1A and 1B. I think they're right there together. I thought it was so funny. Skip Bayless, who I have a love-hate relationship with Skip Bayless.
I can't stand that dude. Oh, that's.
I know, but he loves Joe Burrow, though.
That's the only thing I like about him. Other than that, he's. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a huge fan, but he said something about Joe Burrow being better than Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you for putting that out in the universe because, the whole NFL Top 100 thing was such a joke. And I'm sorry, I cannot read chat. My phone is I had to do a lot of finagling to get my phone set up. So
just leave your phone alone because she was messing with it before. Can't touch it.
So I can't read chat. I'm so sorry. I didn't see what Cap had said something and I didn't get to see what it said.
I can put it up there. He just said everyone seems to be hyped about the environment on the defensive communication. Exactly.
Improvement,
Yeah, and that's the thing is we were wondering this, and I think it's set. I mean, I think Bell and Stone are starting safeties. And that right there is awesome. Now, going to what you're saying about Joe Burrow, again, everybody's like, I've heard some people say this, well, it takes them a while to get ramped up, but once they get going, that's, the last 2 years, we went to Super Bowl, went to AFC Championship game. We got off to a bad start, and then once we got going, we took off. My thought is this, look, he's getting ramped up now. So that's where I'm like, this could be a whole season of this. This is where I'm like, and I'm not trying to just hype him up too much, but I really do feel this way, that, there's these seasons where there's just this team that's above and beyond everybody else. That's where I think the Bengals could be this year. Because, again, Joe Burrow has never had we've never seen him with a normal, just that alone, a normal training camp.
Yeah.
To get him, if he can start out the season like he is, like by November, we get off the slow starts. Like November, we usually start ramping up and taking off going to the playoffs. If we get that, if we get that Joe in September, watch out, NFL. And this
Seriously.
Yeah, and everybody say, "Oh, you say that because you're a Bengals fan." I'm like, no. Look what happens when he gets going in November. Look at his numbers. Look how good the team does. If they can do that at the beginning of the year, dude, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about that interview too is that they actually had Von Bell on there, and one of the things that they really commended him on, and one of the things that Lou mentioned also, is that he is such a great communicator. That he is very good at relaying information, taking information and distributing it, and he's just very concise and accurate, and he's just anything good you could say about somebody's communication skills, Von Bell's got it. And I think that is what makes him so special, and that's what is going to make the difference, I think, on this secondary this year, is that they're getting reps in preseason, they're getting a fast start, they've got veteran guys on this team that know how to lead, and then you've got Von Bell, who's this master communicator, according to Philly Anarumo. So I really feel like we're going to see a brand new defense this year. I really feel like we're going to see the defenses of old, the ones that were so good for so many years. We're going to see we're going to see that defense again this year. We're not going to be, bottom of the barrel and stopping the run. We're going to really get after it this year, I think.
So that's the thing too, is that we talk about with the secondary here, and I don't know about you. I've been out. I know you've been out of practice. I've been out of practice a couple times, watching the progression of Dax Hill, and I know some people are like, well, he's getting beat and all this stuff. I'm like, it's, the we're only 2.5 weeks in the training camp. From what I've seen, I'm no football expert. I'm just a fan. We have an awesome wide receiver core. We have top 5 wide receivers. We have really good wide receivers. When he's getting beat, it's not like he's getting toasted. He's right there. They're jumping up and making the plays. And when I was there yesterday, I didn't get to completely see it, but I know he made a pretty good defensive play in the end zone. So for all this talk that I don't know if Dax is going to work and others, I'm like, I think Dax is going to be fine. Is he going to start? I don't know, but by the end of the season he might. My point being, with having Von Bell back, that helps Dax and the secondary in general, because Dax is learning a new position. So I think our secondary is going to be back to the ball hawking secondary that it was.
And I don't know about you, Jeff, but I feel like all of these guys look bigger. They look faster. They look like monsters compared to even just a few years ago. So I really feel like these guys are getting better at an incredible rate. And it's just really awesome to see. But I really feel like everybody has elevated their game. And it's so cool to see. And one of the things that Zach Taylor said was that some of the best guys on the team, your Joe Burrows, your Von Bells, all these guys that are the elite guys on the team, they're also the hardest working guys on the team.
Yes.
So what does that say to these young guys coming up? It says, if I'm going to be the best, there's no other way. I have to be the hardest working guy on the team. There's no other path to greatness than hard work. And that's such a good message for this young team. I mean, we have one of the youngest teams, I think, in the league. They said I think there's only 1 or 2 guys that are in their 8th season, and most of the guys are 5 seasons or less. Right. So I really feel like they need that mentorship. Dax needs Vaughn to say, like, listen, this is how you do this. This is how you become this great communicator. This is how you do this position. And it can translate into all the other secondary positions as well. So I really feel like having these young guys on the team is going to do nothing but help. Depth is always important as well. So I think it's just a win-win situation, really.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like you're just talking about the young guys, 2 of them I'll talk about who I think have come in better shape and are more prepared this year than last year. The 2 wide receivers, Chuck Jones, Chuck Sizzle, and Yoshivas.
Oh yeah.
Cavs Yosivas. Cavs corrected everybody. Yosivas. So you gotta say it like that.
Well, it's easy to call him Yoshivas because he's Yoshi. But
right,
yeah,
exactly.
it's actually Yosivas. But
Yosivas. So
Yoshi, we can call him Yoshi. It's
Yoshi.
Andre.
just try. I try to put. My last name's Trenopole, so I try to pronounce people's last names right. But my point being is they came in stronger than they were last year, more prepared than they were last year, and they you could tell they worked on their route running and stuff because Yoshi is going to be in the slot a lot more. And I know Trent Irwin, and I love Trent Irwin. That's one of my dudes. He's listed as wide receiver number 3. I think it's good. And I've said this for a while, and Joe's been saying this. If Joe Burrow is giving you compliments, then you're going to get a lot of playing time. He's really been complimenting Yoshi a lot. So I really see starting the season, Yoshi is going to be that number 3 wide receiver. I know Burton has looked good, and I think he is going to be good. But you cannot take away what Yoshi Voss learned from last year. You know, him and Chuck have a year under their belt. Burton doesn't, and there's nothing against Burton. I think Burton's gonna be good too, but I think these two are really going to step up this year. Like I said, I'm listening to Joe. Joe's talking about how good they're doing. And that's the thing. Some of these people, you need to listen to what the coaches and players are saying about these other people because, like I said, some people are down on Dax. Lou Anarumo is pretty high on Dax and what he's done. Joe's very high on what Charlie Jones and Yoshi Voss have done. You know, those are names that they specifically call out of how they're doing good. And to me, that's, you can say they're saying that just to say it, but I don't think Lou Anarumo or Joe Burrow says that just to say it. I think they actually believe it.
Now, these guys are not about lip service. They're going to not say anything at all before they tell you something that they don't believe. So I don't believe that at all. I think if they're saying it, they really mean it, and they really are empowering these guys to reach their highest potential. And I think Joe Burrow brings that out of people. I mean, think about it. If you are a young wide receiver or a young offensive lineman, who do you want to play with? You want to play with the best. You want to be with the best. And I think that is Joe Burrow. And I think because of that, he brings out the best in these guys around him. And I think that we're going to just see an elevated level of play out of everybody because of it.
The Cap's got a good comment here. He says, please let Yoshi be number 3 and force the Bengals to run 4 wide receivers too much because Burton will burn a fourth quarter. Yes. That, to me, that's even, that right there, that's even better. It's kind of like how I was talking with Cap yesterday that if Amarius Mims does win the right tackle job, that means Trent Brown, your backup. To me, that makes the Bengals even better because you have a veteran guy like Trent Brown who has been a backup in the NFL before, who can be that swing tackle, and you want that first round guy to develop as quickly as you can. I mean, I was listening to Dave Lapham on a podcast last night. Is there either on his or was on I think it was on the Bengals Booth podcast, and he was literally saying there's traits for Amarius Mims that he sees that reminds him of one Anthony Munoz. Now, he's not saying he's going to be Anthony Munoz. He said Anthony Munoz is a one of one, but there are traits that Mims is doing that he saw Anthony do back in his rookie year. And to me, that gives me goosebumps just hearing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is the largest person I think I've ever seen in real life.
Yes,
and I posted a photo of us at the softball game with me and my bestie Jerry. And Jerry's even shorter than me. I think Jerry's like 5'2" or 5'3", and I'm 5'5". And he is literally so huge. I don't know why this car just made a weird noise.
It's okay. It's okay.
Joe made Kay giggle.
Yeah, I think Cap's trying to be a matchmaker. I noticed that on the show.
I know.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, I mean, okay, honestly, if you've ever met Joe Burrow in person, he is so intimidating. And I really felt like he did a great job with Kay. I really felt like she did. She's always does a great job, obviously.
Did I hear this right? Because I did listen. I didn't get to watch the show, but I heard the podcast. Did you give her a hat? Because I thought she said something. I got something from Hubei. Cap just put it up there, which I was going to ask that. Did you actually give her a cap? You got a shout out from her. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Sorry, this car just turned off. This is a rental car, first of all. I don't know how anything works. I have my whole screen covered up with stuff to keep my phone propped up. So I'm very sorry, everyone. But I just had to restart this car. Okay. Right. Yes. So that was actually really cool. So if anybody knows, Cincy Hat did a limited edition hat with a company called Hat Off the Press. It's a locally owned, women-owned business in Cincinnati, and they had this really cool like tiger patch on the side. And there was only a very limited number of them. You had to be super fast. They sold out in 6 seconds. And so I was literally like, I posted a video of it under Kay's video, but it was like a screen recording of me just refreshing. And so you had to be so fast to get these hats. So I ended up getting one for me, and then I got 2 extras, and I wanted to give I gave one to Sarah Taylor, and then I wanted to give one to Kay Adams. Actually, I can't take credit for this idea. This was Cap's idea. Cap wanted to give one to Kay Adams, and I was like, yes, that's a great idea. So we saw Kay on the field. We were standing there she was talking to Joe's parents, because we were in the friends and family tent, and he was in like the other VIP, the Ticketmaster VIP tent or whatever. Right. Jimmy and Robin were. So anyway, Kay is talking to them, and I am like, I really hate bothering people. I really, really hate it.
Like, hey, Kay, come here.
No.
Come here, we got a hat for you.
I really hate interrupting people, and I totally could have. I got a little bit nervous. She makes me a little bit nervous. So anyway, I didn't give it to her right then. I like kind of hesitated and was like, I froze up. Okay. But then I saw Teddy afterwards, and I was like, Teddy, can you please give this hat to Kay for me? I really wanted to give it to her. This hat means so much because there was only a few of them made. They were really hard to get, but I really thought that she would like it, and I really wanted her to have one. And it's, and can you tell her about Hat Off the Press? And can you tell her that it's a locally owned company? And he was like, absolutely. I got you. No worries. I didn't know he was going to like drop my name and be like, do you know who the Hubei is?
The Hubei. The Hubei. Yeah.
I've told him so many times. I'm like, Teddy, I'm Jess. And he's like, you're the Hubei. You are the Hubei. And then I saw his wife Rachel the other day at training camp too, and she was like introducing me to somebody. She was like, "This is the Hubei," and I was like, "Hi, I'm Jeff."
It's like the Ohio State. You're the Hubei.
Well, Hubei was taken. Okay, so Cap came up with Hubei as a play on Houday, and Hubei was taken on Twitter, so I had to put a V in front of it, which throws everything off. But whatever, it's fine. So I was so happy that Teddy was able to give her. I was so happy that Teddy was able to give her the hat and that he was able to explain her the story, because that was important to me that she know that it was like really special. Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. That was a really cool moment.
Well, speaking of something special, didn't you get to do like a first pitch or something at the Florence Yaws last weekend? How'd that go?
They called, or they talked to me. They were like, actually, it was at St. Taddie's Day. They were like, hey, we're doing a Cincy night, and we really want you and Cap to throw out the first pitch. And I was like, you want me to throw out the first pitch? I'm like, surely you have somebody more qualified for this job than me. And they're like, no, we want you to do it. And I was like, oh God. And then Cap was like, we got to practice. Have you ever thrown he's like, have you ever thrown a baseball? I'm like, no, I haven't ever thrown a baseball.
I found out on yesterday's show. Cap didn't play baseball. I'm like, no. Really? Like,
neither of us ever. Well, Cap is very athletic. He's thrown, he can throw a baseball. He can throw a football. He can, he's really good at basketball. He's good at he's so athletic. He could do anything. But I was never, hand-eye coordination was never my thing. I never played any type of sports he's really good at volleyball too. He's amazing at volleyball. Oh, dude. I've never played volleyball. I know, we were talking about that at the Icky Woods thing, how me didn't want to play. We're going to get a team together next year. Just please don't put me on it. Please. For the love of God,
I'm down. Put me on it. I'll play.
Okay, you guys can make a team next year for that. But no, so we had to practice in our backyard. So we have a golf net set up, and so we were trying to throw it into the golf net, but it kept missing the golf net and going into the woods behind our house. Like we had to go traipse through the woods and get this baseball out of the woods. It was kind of a farce. But I will say that we kind of measured off 60 feet in our yard, and it's really far.
Yeah, it's not an easy throw.
So
I'm giving you guys a little shit about this, but it's not an easy throw. It is 60 feet,
so
6
far.
inches. Yeah.
I was like, no, there's no way it's really this far. No, it's really that far. It's so far. But I was like, everybody was like, you can stand wherever you want. You don't have to stand on the mound. I was like, no, I'm standing on the mound. I'm gonna stand on the mound. I'm gonna have my pictures taken on the mound. Yep. But so it did do a little hop skip, but it was right over the plate. It was right over the plate. So practicing paid off.
That's good. Hey, like I said, if I, which I don't think this will ever happen, but if I ever get a chance to throw out a first pitch, and I've played baseball, I will definitely practice throwing 60 feet, 6 inches. I mean, because I don't want, and I bring this up all the time, I don't want to be Mark Mallory where he throws at the first base.
I mean, there's some really bad ones. There's some really bad ones out there. I mean, I mean, look at Travis Kelce almost killed somebody, I think, like when he tried to throw that pitch. It like it bounced so hard on the ground, it like hit the guy.
So
It looks
is this
like
true?
Ricky
You see,
Vaughn
yeah,
with
before
the
the
glasses
glasses.
out there. I don't know
Yeah.
who Ricky Vaughn is.
It's from Major League. Charlie
Oh.
Sheen. Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
remember. Yeah,
Give him
now I
the
remember.
heater, Ricky.
Yeah.
Give him the heater.
I've seen that movie, but I don't remember everybody's name from it.
Yeah, I'll put that
Ricky
in there.
Vaughn. I pitched better than Jabroni.
I didn't see the video, Cap. I saw your first pitch video. I have to go back and try to find
I
Cap's.
swear, I think we've got one of Cap somewhere. I swear I have one of them.
Yeah, you have to show
Because he
it to
went
me.
before me. Yeah, he went before me, so I videoed his.
Now, one other thing that I know you enjoyed that Cap has talked about a lot on here, and I really do think it'd be nice if they bring it back. Marvin Lewis had I'm going to say it wrong, but basically the women's night for football. I don't know how else he
It was called Football 101 is what he called it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and you guys actually got to do drills on the field and try to kick field goals and all kinds of stuff. I mean, how much fun was that, and what do we got to do to bring that back?
No, Jeff, that was the best event. I'm not even kidding you. Like, no, unless they replicate that, exactly, nothing will ever compare to that. It was the best night ever. So basically, you made a charitable contribution to the Marvin Lewis Community Fund. I think it was like $100, $200 maybe. You show up. It's all you can eat, all you can drink, open bar, like full liquor bar, everything you could possibly want.
I'm down.
So you start eating and drinking. You get nice and liquored up.
Stop.
And then they take you down on the field and you run football drills. And they used to have it like years before I started doing it. I think the first year I did it was 2014, maybe. Mm-hmm. Was maybe the first year I did it, or maybe it was this. I can't remember. I can't actually remember. But they said like, yeah, we don't let the girls bring their drinks down here anymore because one girl threw up one year.
Oh God.
You had to finish your drinks before you went down on the field. But then you finish your drinks, you go down on the field, and they literally have all the pads, all the cones, all the stuff set up for you, and you run through all the drills on the field. They have games where you have to do you have to get dressed in the football uniform. For the first pitch, yeah. He says he was terrified, but he did a great job too. But anyway, so
I'm listening. My new kitty down here is trying to miss all my lights and my camera. I'm like, Amber, no, stop. I don't want her to pull my lights down. Keep going. So if you see me keep doing this, stop.
Bad kitty.
No. Oh, shit. Stop. You're going to knock it over. Hang on a second. I got to get her.
Okay. You take 5. I'll talk to the people about Football 101.
Yeah, you keep talking. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. So you had different stations. You would rotate through each station. They had like throwing the football into like the little net thingies, the little hole net thingies. You could kick a field goal. You would run through the cones. You could tackle the dummies. That was always my favorite part, was tackling the dummies. There was a picture of me and the Inquirer tackling a dummy because I have zero chill and I take everything extremely seriously. So I was literally like, I wanted to kill this dummy. It was amazing. And then you would go in the film room and you would talk. It was usually Kyle Caskey in the film room. I miss him. Kyle, hope you're doing great.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was like the funnest night ever. It was so much fun with all the girls. It was a lot of the Houday ladies back when they had the Houday ladies. Now that's gone too. Everything great is gone. Not really, but I do miss the Houday ladies. I miss the Football 101. I miss all the Marvin Lewis Community Fund events. I really hope that they get either like a Bengals charity or Zach Taylor does some sort of foundation. I think it's all in the works. I'm very hopeful that all of this is going to come back for us because there was a lot of really great events. Not Football 101 was the one that was for women, but there were so many great events that Marvin Lewis did. He did a chalk talk where he broke down film for everybody. We got a playbook. It was amazing. He had a countdown to kickoff, which was at Eddie Merlot's, where the players were the waiters and they would come like bring you your food and stuff. It was so much fun. So we did a lot of really awesome stuff with the Marvin Lewis Community Fund way back in the day. But PJ, say hi, PJ. That sounds amazing. A day in the life of a player. Yeah, it was so much fun, PJ. I wish everybody could experience it. I hope that they bring it back and we can bring all the girls and it will be so much fun. But
that'd be good. Well, I can't. I got to go catch my cat. My girls are not here, so I can't get in and come down and get
I heard a lot of crashing.
I know. I got up
I
and
was like tap dancing, like.
oh, dude, I got up. Well, if I try to get up too fast, sometimes like my chair will hit the desk and I knock stuff. I'm like, oh, great. I'm not gonna really order. The cat is. Come here, Amber. Come here. Oh, it's my new kitty.
Yeah,
anyway,
new kitty. Oh,
yes, my new kitty.
cats.
I'm still hoping to get. I'm gonna get a dog again here sometime soon. But we have an orange kitty. I wanted to name her Houday, but I got outnumbered. My daughter. Well, it's my daughter's cat. She bought her, so we named her Ember. Come here.
Oh, that's cute for orange kitty. I love orange kitties.
I almost had her. She's down there.
So
I got so much stuff down here. I'm like, and she's just all she's doing is just trying to play with the lights and everything. I'm like, you're gonna knock stuff over. Those are really expensive lights. Please don't knock them over. Ember,
oh my
stop.
gosh.
Ember, you're like, hi, come here. Leave those lights alone. Don't touch those. Don't touch.
It's the best show ever.
Live show, baby. This is what happens. And you're in your basement and your cat is trying to mess with the lights. Stop.
I'm a sweaty mess. I don't have any makeup on.
I'm sweating right now. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, so that sounds like an awesome time. Hopefully, they will bring that back because I've seen videos of you showing to me of you guys doing stuff on the field and stuff, and to me that's because there are girls that like football, and they didn't play. Don't touch that, Ember. Obviously, well, I mean, now you play flag football and stuff like that. But back
right
in the day,
now,
they
but
play,
back when I was going through school, there was nothing like that for girls.
Right. So now that's what's cool if you could bring that stuff back.
I actually I played flag football once for a charity event that I did for Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's Association. We did a flag football game. So,
Natty
Ron, Cab this year, fan of the year.
So everybody
thanks, Ron. Yeah,
just start the fan of the year #fan of the year Bengals captain. Just keep tweeting that out. We'll speak it into existence here.
I love it. I appreciate everyone supporting and voting for Cap. He deserves it. So thank you so much.
He deserves it. He's a good dude. So he comes on my show every Monday with me and Corey, and whenever I ask him, he comes on. So I appreciate that. So he's a good dude. I like Cap. So this Saturday, how excited are you? I know it's preseason, but it's still football, Jess. It's football.
But we get to see Joe Burrow. So
I know that's even cooler.
It's like better preseason.
Yes, exactly.
It's like elevated preseason from last year. No, I'm so excited. Unfortunately, I have to work this weekend, so I'll be coming from work, and then I'll have to go back to work that next day. So I won't be like having a whole bunch of fun with everybody. But thanks so much, Ron. Yeah, but I am so excited. I'm so excited to see the guys. I'm so excited to see all of our friends. We actually got to see our little friend, our buddy Kingston. His parents have season tickets. His grandma and his mom. And he sits like a few rows above us, and he always comes down and hangs out with us. We actually got to see him at the Y'all's game when it was the celebrity softball game at the Y'all Stadium. But anyway, so we got to see him, and so it's like seeing all of our friends and their kids. Oh my gosh, it's so funny how fast the kids grow up. Like I swear, every year King has just gotten taller and taller, and next year he's going to be taller than me. But it's so cool to see all of our friends in the stadium and all of our friends, that we haven't seen throughout the year. So it's such a fun time.
I would say like this: it's like a family reunion. We all see each other, every Sunday at Bengals home game, or every time there's a Bengals home game, and then we might see each other here and there during the summertime, but it's not the same. So it's like we all get back together. It's like, hey, everybody gets a big hug and all that stuff. It's cool. Now me, I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'll get to see everybody because not this Sunday, but the first home game, regular season game, we're gonna be doing my first tailgate or pregame experience, what we're calling it, at Moreline Lager House, and I cannot wait.
I was gonna ask. So you're not doing that on Saturday though?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
It's starting for the first home game is when we're starting. So
got it. Okay.
I still got stuff that there's still stuff that I'd like to announce that I just can't because we got to make sure everything's locked down and all that stuff before I actually get to go ahead to officially announce the official name and all the other cool stuff that we got. That, like I said,
that's so exciting. I'm so excited about that.
You got this thing that it's like really, really cool, and you're really excited about it. You just want to share it with everybody, and you just can't. I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Like, I want to tell people, but I can't. So
I've been there many times. You know, it's funny because it's like, it's nice to be a trustworthy person and to know things and to be trusted with secrets, but it's so hard when it's so
sucks.
exciting.
Well,
and it's like you want to tell everybody, but you know that you can't.
Right. It's like when we all found out when Corey was getting
Yeah.
Ring of Honor. We found out what 2.5-3 weeks before.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, we can't tell anybody. I'm like, ugh. I'm like,
I really thought something was wrong. I was so upset. I was driving
too.
home from work. And I'm like trying to get home, and I'm like texting Cap, like, you gotta answer your phone. They're trying to call you. Something's wrong.
And he got on.
He got us good.
Oh, dude, Corey got us. He's like, man, he's like, I want everybody. I'm like, all right. So we added a couple people to the group chat, and then I called everybody. So then he's like, man, is everybody here? I'm like, Cap's not yet. Jess ain't here yet. And then Cap's like, I'm here. Jess is on her way. He's like, man, guys, I got some bad news. He goes, talked to Mike Brown today, and I'm in. We're like, what? You're in the Ring of Honor? Like, what? Like we thought it was something bad. Like, tag on.
Well, now I'm having a heart attack, so thanks, Corey.
Exactly. Then you came in later. I remember seeing you on there sitting next to Cap. Like, no, it's good. He got it. We're like, yeah, but we can't say anything. Son of a bitch. So.
Yeah, but it's so great. So I'm excited for you and your stuff at Moorline. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a really fun time. I really feel like a lot of people are looking for that elevated experience, and I think people don't mind paying if it's like, you know, you go to tailgates and it's always fun. It's always kind of a BYOB type of deal, but you know, you run out of stuff. You run out of water. You run out of food. You run out of, you know, somebody's going to bring pizza. Did they bring enough for everybody? You know, it's so nice to just know that, hey, I've paid my money. I'm going to get my drinks. I'm going to get my food. I'm going to get, everything's going to be really nice. So I think that's going to be a great draw for people who are looking for that. And that's why I love fans of Cincy, because they do the same type of deal.
Awesome.
To me, it's like very similar to kind of what they do. So I think it's great.
Yeah, and if you guys are, like, speaking of fans, if you guys are looking for going on any road trips, we both highly recommend fans of Cincy. Now, I have never personally been on a trip of theirs, but just from talking to you guys and other people that have been on there, of how great an experience it was. Because, I mean, I still trip out about him organizing the parade in New Orleans. I mean, I'm like, I talked to him, he was on the show with us last week. I'm like, hey, you want to have a parade in New Orleans for, like, the Super Bowl? And you're like, yeah, we can probably do that. I'm like, dude, that'd be cool. I'm like, I'm down. That is one of
my favorite memories from that season. That was such a great trip, New Orleans, and to do that parade with everybody was just, it was so much fun. Me and Bridget and Whitney had matching, like, masks, like, whatever you call them, like the fancy masks with all the glitter and feathers and stuff on them. And we found like orange and black ones, and we had we had our masks on. It was just such a great time, such an awesome time. So I'm looking to get that back this year. We're gonna recreate those memories.
That sounds good to me. Now, Michael here has a question for you. He says, Jess, what's your input on this upcoming season?
Oh, thanks, Michael, so much for your question. I think that it's going to be a really great season. I really do. I think the Bengals are going to win at least 13 games, and I think that we are going all the way. I think this is our year. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I really do, and I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly.
I say it every year, but I really believe it this year.
This time I mean it.
This time I'm serious. This time. All right.
I really feel like everything just feels like it's falling into place. And I think, I will caveat that with if we can stay healthy, because if we can't stay healthy, then everything's out the window, whatever. But I really feel like the stars are in alignment for the Bengals this year.
I think so too. Now I know you go to a lot of Reds games there with your girls there. Keith says, "Hey, I know we're talking Bengals, but gotta give Ellie some props for that game last night." Ellie is the truth. Ellie is our Joe Burrow. I mean,
I love him. Yeah,
I can't. And what cracks me up sometimes? Some Reds fans are like, "Well, we should just hurry up and trade him because we're not gonna be able to sign him." I'm like, that literally makes no sense. So you want to trade Ellie for a chance to try to draft another guy that's like Ellie that you already have? Why the hell? I mean, I don't know if we're going to sign him or not, but that's not for another 6 years. I mean, we got a long time. I'm like, I'm keeping him as long as we freaking can and build around him and hopefully win a freaking World Series. But Ellie is worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
Just to watch him on the base pass, Jess, is fun.
I mean, so I grew up as a big Reds fan, so I love the Reds. They're like, I feel like baseball is my first love, but football is my great love. So I really feel that way, and I love the Reds. I truly do. But some of these Reds fans are unhinged, and I just don't get it. Like
Right.
I can't get there. I can't get there emotionally with you. I can't
Yeah.
get on that level, but. I do think Ellie is amazing. I wish that there was a little bit more consistency in the season. I feel like it's so up and down. It's been really up and down this season. I really feel like we had a good shot. The injuries just have killed us. They've piled up, but I really feel like Ellie always gives us a shot. And it's funny because I was actually talking to my stepdad about this today. I really thought at the beginning of the season, I thought that starting pitching was going to be a problem this year, but starting pitching has been fantastic. It's been the lack of offense, the lack of run support that has really tripped up the Reds this year, unfortunately. But yeah, it's Ellie is so much fun to watch. That game last night, I didn't actually watch the whole game live, but that stat line is incredible. And did you see where he signed the ball for the little kid who was telling him to hit a home run every time, and then he hit the home runs when the little kid told him to, and then he signed the ball for the little kid.
I missed that. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
He's like, that kid told me to hit a home run. I'm gonna sign a ball for him after the game.
Hell yeah, dude! And that's what I love about Ellie. Ellie's so. Yeah. He's just Ellie. He's not. There's no fake about him. That's what I love about him.
Did you see his comment where they were like, somebody asked him like, who is the most exciting young player in baseball, and he was like, "You're looking at him."
Yeah, exactly. This guy.
That is my favorite. Mic drop moment right there.
Yeah, I mean, this year, like, if you had told me that we had the starting pitching that we had this year, I would have thought for sure we're going to go into the playoffs. But like I said, we've had injuries. I mean, TJ Frieda's been in and out of the lineup. CES is gone for the year. Unfortunately, the guy who Will Benson, I nicknamed Willie B. Bad last year. I thought he was going to have a really good year. He has had a very down year. Jake Fraley's had a down year. I mean, Marte hasn't been able to get back to where, he's played good. I'm not worried about it. He's going to get back up there. But just there's been so many injuries and so many guys with down seasons that, I mean, they were so high last year, and it's just
I think they called Marte up too early. I think they should have left him down there for a little bit. Like,
it wouldn't have hurt. I mean,
they should have at least kept him down there till he was hitting, I feel like.
Right,
but,
yeah. I don't disagree with that because he was, when he came up, because they waited a long time to bring him up last year. He was like the last one to bring up, and then he was ready to go. Yeah, he would have been here at the beginning of the year, but he had the 50-game suspension. I agree with you. When they're bringing him up already, and he wasn't hitting. I'm like, really?
They brought him up as fast as they could, which is like, on the one hand, I get it, but on the other hand, it's like maybe give him a little more time down there because he was just not what we were all hoping for. He was not the savior that we were hoping for.
I think he still will be. I do. Still, I still think he will. It just this year, it just ain't working this year. It just. Hopefully next year it will.
It's been an uphill battle, I think, for the Reds this whole season. DJ said, Ellie is special. It's been so cool to watch him last year and this year. He worked on his English. I know.
I love that.
So precious. I mean, holy cow. And what a smart guy, too, to be able to learn English so quickly. I mean, holy cow. I've been trying to learn Spanish since high school.
Right. It's not easy. Right. It's not easy.
Espanol.
Yeah. I don't know. See. That's all I know. That's all I know. But I mean, that's the thing is, that's why one thing I loved about Ellie is he said this. He goes, I want to be able to communicate with the fans and the media myself. Just to have that connection, not have to go through an interpreter to hear what he says. And to me, that means a lot. I mean, that means he cares
so much. Yeah. And honestly, it's one thing to feel that way. And I think probably a lot of guys feel that way, but then to actually be able to do it is just so impressive to me. It just really speaks to his intelligence and who he is as a person. And I just really feel like he is such an amazing role model for young kids and for everybody. And I'm so glad that he's a Red.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the right now. I mean, yes, technically there's a chance the Reds could get the wild card, but
it's possible. That's the funny thing about this Reds team is like they're never all the way out of it.
I mean, you never know.
Just enough hope.
Right.
Hanging on.
You're saying there's a chance. Yeah, there is a chance. But I try to be more a realist. I mean, if the Bengals weren't as good, like I'll say it this way: when the Bengals had the Andy Dalton years, I'm like, man, let's just win a playoff game. That's where I was at with that. Like, then we'll see what happens. At least do that.
Yeah.
Since they got Joe Burrow, I'm like, let's go win the Super Bowl. I mean, my expectations and went like this. Now with the Reds, like starting this year, my expectation was the Reds are going to make the playoffs, and I had every intention thinking they will. But just the way things have gone in the years guys have had, we'll see. Like I said, they're not done. They could. We'll see. But just enjoy watching them. And I really like watching the pitching staff. I mean, Hunter Green is pitching great. Lodolo, I love Lodolo. Abbott's pitching good. I'm hoping my boy Ashcraft gets his elbow back together and he can get back up here. But our pitching is really good. And I always go back to the Atlanta Braves of the 90s. The reason they went to the World Series so many times is because of their starting pitching. We got that chance, Jess, and then we had that chance. That hasn't changed. Is our starting pitching and them doing that good, and we got other guys behind them that could come up here and beat just as good. So the future's still bright for the Reds.
Absolutely.
Despite what
and we got to get Matt
saying.
McClain back. They unfortunately they thought he was going to come back, and now they don't think he's going to come back. I don't even know what's going on with that. Like he re-injured himself. I have no clue.
Honestly,
it's so much I can't even keep up. But
I never really expected him to come back, and I don't know if I really wanted him to because that's a pretty serious injury.
Yeah,
and I don't want him to rush it. And I mean, if he comes back, I'm okay if he comes back. Like September, so at least get some major league at bats. Get his feet under him or whatever. If he's healthy, If he's not, then just shut it down. He's too good of a player to rush him back.
When he went down in the pre during training camp, I was like, all right, this season might be over before it starts. So I kind of my expectations have been very tempered this year from the beginning. So, but It's still fun to watch. But you know what? Hey, I will say, though, that this kind of plays into, I think it's maybe Bridget's conspiracy theory, but, she has this theory that only one Cincinnati team can be good at a time. And last year it was our Stabby Lions getting the,
all right, hold on. Explain to everybody why you call FC Cincinnati Stabby Lions. Just for
have you seen that? So, okay.
I know why you call it that, but go ahead.
So FC Cincinnati is the soccer team, for those who are not familiar. Their mascot is a lion with wings and a crown holding a giant sword, and they call him Gary, which I think is so bizarre, but okay, they call him Gary. He's Gary the lion, but he's holding a sword, so I call him the Stabby Lion. So that I call FC Cincinnati the Stabby Lions because it's not like the Bengals or the Reds. What do you call them? The Garys? No, they're the Stabby Lions. So I call them the Stabby Lions. Everyone feel free to make that a thing. Let that stick.
Well, that's the funny thing. When they got FC, I'm like, to me, like we got the Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, Cyclones, Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm like, what we're FC? What is that? I'm like, that's why I'm used to it now. FC Cincinnati just rolls off the tongue, but usually it's FC Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Lions, or the Stabby Lions, or something. I was like, that's just.
Stabby Lions.
And the funny thing is, last night the Reds were on. They had a great game, but I was actually watching FC last night.
Yeah,
to be honest. So
that game was crazy. Oh, Supporter Shield. I couldn't think. I was like that. The thing that they won just completely flew right out of my brain. But anyway, so last year Stabby Lions got Supporter Shield. They couldn't. Unfortunately, they lost the big thing. Whatever. But the Supporter Shield, I think, is the much more prestigious award. I mean, that is the award for winning the most games during the regular season. So to me, that's the best thing you could possibly win, because anybody could lose a game or a series or whatever. But to be that consistent over the entire year and to have an award to show for it, I think is really special. So, they won the Supporter Shield last year. That was great. This year, we had high hopes for the Reds. I don't think they're going to, if they make it into the wild card, I don't think they're going all the way, unfortunately, this year. But
Keith's here with you. He says, we're 8 games back in the Central, and the Brewers are not pulling away. We got a shot. There's a shot.
Hey, they're never done. I would love nothing more for the Reds to go out there and make a run. But I really feel like that also bodes for the fact that this is the year for the Bengals.
Right.
So,
well, the fact that and last year is I hate to say it was such a Cincinnati way to end the season, where they were the best team, in MLS all year long. And Columbus was struggling up and down all year. Then they come in and we just can't beat them. I was like, one game. But
you know why? You remember why though, right? Because Matt Miazga was suspended over some crap. Over some stupid crap with the Cincinnati or the New York energy drink people. Yeah. And it was this whole thing that got blown way out of proportion. He ends up not being able to play. And I truly believe that was a big difference in that game.
Oh, so I do too. Oh yeah.
I'm blaming the energy drinks for that whole thing.
Stupid energy drinks.
Stupid energy drinks. That's what
Jeez.
my friend Tyler, Minor Ding, that's what he calls it. Stupid energy drinks.
TikTok Tyler. That's what we call him. TikTok Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah. If you're not following him on TikTok, you should. But yeah, but this is where I'm at. I'm like, so I mean, which I love Bridget, but Bridget, we can have two teams win. I mean, FC still is the best team in MLS this year. They could win the whole thing this year, and the Bengals. I mean, what are we going to do if we have not one but two championship parades here? We got one for FC, and then we have one for the Bengals. I mean, I don't know if my heart could take that.
No, I think everything will just explode, but in the best possible way.
Exactly. I am here for it. I cannot freaking wait. Jess, you've been on for 54 minutes. I want to let you get out of the car, go get. Hopefully, traffic is died
I'm
down
sure by now it's fine.
It won't take you that long to get home, but I appreciate you jumping on. I know we were supposed to do this a couple weeks ago, and then something happened and I couldn't do it. So I appreciate you coming on. I can't wait. Hopefully, I'll see you guys this Saturday because Mrs. Ice is coming with me, so I'm not sure.
Cool.
We might be at the Moyne House. We might go down a lot one. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll see.
Okay.
I will try to come down. At least I know where you guys sit, even though I'm not going to be sitting there anymore. But that's beside the point.
That's okay. You can come say hi.
I'll come down and see you for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Jeff. I appreciate you.
No problem. Hey, tell everybody where they can follow you on Twitter if you want to. You want people to follow you or whatever.
Yeah, I'm at the Hube on Twitter and Instagram, and my show Tigers Talk is going to be coming back next week.
All right.
So we're still figuring out what days and times work for everybody, but we hope that Whitney will be making her triumphant return.
Woo! Bengals Whitney back, my girl. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, so she reached out and said she really wants to come back on the show this year. So we're trying to find a day that works best for everybody for next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll make an announcement on Twitter. But thanks so much, everybody, for your support. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Go check out Tyra's Talk. It's a whole bunch of women who actually know football, and that's what's cool about it. And I've had each and every one of you on my show a couple of times. So it's awesome. And I sometimes catch you a lot because I never know when you're on, and usually if you guys are on, I gotta go to bed. But I usually try to catch it afterwards. But you know if I'm watching, I'm going to make a comment and say hi.
Yeah, it's usually 8:30 is usually the time, but the day of the week varies based on everybody's work schedule. Because we've got Kayla, who's like a superstar in community theater. She does shows a lot of the times. Bridget is like a crazy boss lady who travels all the time, and
she just got back from Japan.
She just got back from Japan. That was like a vacation trip, but she also she travels for work a lot as well. So we're working with a lot of schedules. Jerry is down there and she does stuff with when the hurricanes come. It's hard for her because she's got to do like overnight shifts when the hurricanes come. So we got a lot of stuff going on, but we try and do it at least once a week around 8:30. Usually on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So, but we'll always announce it on Twitter. So you can follow us on Twitter at Tigers Talk Pod. And we'll always announce when the shows are going to be during the week. And then you can always catch up on YouTube afterwards because we're always on YouTube.
Yeah, Natty Ron wanted to know if it's on YouTube. I'll say yes, it's on YouTube. You can go there and subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell for notification. So when they go live, it'll pop up on your phone if you don't see it on Twitter. But a bunch of hard-working women who know football, so I highly recommend you guys go watch it.
Thanks so much.
So, Jess, I'm going to have to get you back on the show. People are like, you need to have her on more often. I was like, she's busy. Like, it's hard to get her back on. So I will definitely try to get you back on again. So maybe we'll have you and Cap on sometime. Who knows?
Okay.
There you go. All right, Jess. Appreciate you. Who day?
Thanks so much. Have a good day. Who day?
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. What are you saying, Chandler? Miles Murphy is not even able to back up on the depth chart. Okay. But you're coming in late to and just putting random stuff out there. It's the beginning of preseason. Calm down. It'll be okay. If you guys enjoyed that as much as I did, make sure you go check out Jess and the girls on Tigers Talk. I said I highly recommend it. They really know what they're talking about and they have a lot of fun doing it. So it's very, very cool. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on ZTV Online, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. You can follow me on all those along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And again, not this Saturday, but the very first regular season home opener and every home game for the Bengals. We'll be at the Moyne Logger House doing our pregame experience there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is going to cost you money to get in. Trust me, as soon as I can announce all this stuff, I will gladly let you in on the info. But you are going to get access to delicious Moyne beer, delicious Moyne food, access to the new bourbon room. There will be former Bengals there It's going to be an absolute blast. I really hope you guys come and support this restaurant and these the workers there and everything, and come check us out on Tuesday nights. I'll be doing my live show there on Tuesday. It'll be me, Bengals captain, and Corey Cock Killing Dylan will be there. Well, they'll be online. Maybe when Corey's in town, I can get him to come in early. He might be able to come on the show. Either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So every Tuesday, starting during the football season, and every home game, we'll be at the Moline Lager House. It's gonna be an absolute blast. Also, between now and then, go check out Midwest Best Barbecue. And if you haven't, check them out. I always ask this same question: why the hell not? Go get you some CTB wings, some Dillinator wings, some G-Funk, pulled pork sandwich. Pork chop loves the macaroni and cheese. I think Greg likes cornbread. I guess there's nothing but delicious food on there. Go check out Tim and Nicole. They're out there, Midwest Best Barbecue, 275 Ward's Corner Avenue exit. Awesome family, awesome food, great Bengals fans. Tell them J.I. sent you. And also check out Meyer Windows and Doors at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Matty Myers will show up in the very famous Jackpot Joey Mobile. And you guys can talk some windows. You can talk some football. Hell, he might talk some golf with you. Matty likes to talk. He wants to sell you some windows. I got them in my house. You should get them in yours. They're energy efficient, easy to clean, and they look fantastic. So go check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com. And my Westside peeps, go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. Big ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks there, free parking. It's an awesome, awesome place right in the heart of Cheviot. You can't miss it. It's Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. All right, guys, this has been an absolute blast. I appreciate you guys checking me out again today. I'm trying to remember, who do I got on tomorrow? Let me see, Wednesday. I got this third down. The third down guy, Mark Wolters, will be on the show tomorrow with us. We'll be discussing the Bengals Buccaneers upcoming game. Now, for you that may or may not know, my beautiful wife, Mrs. Ice, is from Florida. She is a Bengals fan, but born and raised a Buccaneers fan. Can't change that. So she's definitely going. And I got to figure out some kind of bet that I need to have with her, that maybe I can make her do on the air or something. One of the Bengals beats the Buccaneers or something that I have to do. I don't know. Give me your ideas. You can just send them out to me on Twitter, at Sports with Strawberry Ice, or it's at Jeff A. Trunapole. Check it out there on Twitter. Something fun we can try and do. We'll see if she agrees to it. I don't know. Anyway, other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!